How do you like that weather?
Great.
Yeah.
Really good.
Good.
Yeah.
You do like the rain for
Sure, I like to play in conditions like this, for sure. Yeah, when you lived a lot of your career in Germany and have to deal with these conditions quite often, you get to enjoy them.
What can you take from Tuesday's game and apply it to Saturday? Different rosters, probably more so for you guys than for Chicago, but what carries over from that game?
Yeah, I think the way we responded in certain moments, right? So the way we responded, we played some positive soccer. We pushed the game. That's something I can't take away from the boys. We pushed the game and give them credit for that. Obviously, getting a goal early changes the landscape a little bit and shifts our, MO a little bit. So just trying to now, obviously resolve those early ons, the mistakes, and trying to grow from there. But these are growing moments, and I said it before in previous press conferences that we have to learn and grow from these. And whether that's a 1 game, 3 game, it's a growing exercise, and it's really fun to go through these, because if it was all great and good, everyone would be doing this. So I mean, we reflect. We thought we put out a very good lineup to compete, and yeah, I thought the response was good throughout the game. We pushed the game, get a goal early on, later on. And unfortunately, it was a little too late.
And it looks like Klaus and Alm not out there at practice, probably not available this weekend?
Yeah, unfortunately not. Still doing their rehab program indoors at the moment, slowly, progressing. But not as quick as we would have liked. But again, rather cautious. We know we have a long summer coming up. We know those 2 valuable positions up the field. So from that point of view, we don't want to push it. In the second to last game, Celio gets his goal. Miggy Perez now contributes, So we're just trying to get a lot of guys doing extra. And that's the collective of our game principles, of our ideas. We keep on pushing on from there.
Bradley, did you learn anything new about Chicago from this game on Tuesday?
Did I learn anything new? No.
Like, did you find any new things about Chicago that maybe you had not planned for?
No. I don't think we were caught out by surprise at all. I definitely knew the lineup that they were going to put out. I definitely knew, what they were trying to do early on. I definitely knew that they're going to play with a bit of a inspired, performance. Yeah. So we just have to match that and then some. And I think if we bring the intensities that we set out to, I think it will be a very competitive game on the weekend.
The first Fire goal, what did you make of it? Did you feel like it was a bit of a miscommunication or so on the back line? It seemed like there was a thought from looking at it, like they might have assumed he was in an offside position.
Who would have assumed?
Well, he was right behind Pedro, so it seemed like he wasn't marking him as deep as he could have to keep him onside.
Well, I don't know. I think Pedro has a good line of sight to the rest of his back line. Because he's the last defender facing inside and he can see the whole line. So, it's unfortunate Selassie gets in behind, right? So, but it's one of the things. We put pressure up the field and we say we would like to connect with all the different departments, defenders, midfielders, strikers. So when we go out and push the line, it's just unfortunate that, a split second, it took us 2 minutes too long to get in the game. I think we're still a little bit caught up in the locker room. And those are things we've spoken about, and we let that get away. If you look at the first 30 seconds, we lose a similar scenario, a head ball in the first 30 seconds. Again, it was just a sluggish start from us, and that's something that we, strive to not let happen. And these are things that we always encourage and strive for, is good starts, momentum, and we lost the momentum before the game even started.
And then on that change, the way the game kind of shifted, Miggy Perez mentioned on Tuesday that the Fire kind of fell back after that goal, so they didn't push forward as much as they might have otherwise. Are you looking to keep the same game plan to start this game as you were expecting the same thing from the Fire, in their high press that they usually do?
I don't expect them, you don't know what goes on in a game of soccer, but I don't expect them to be gifted a goal early on, right? So that's not my my intention. And I think it's natural in a game of soccer when you score first, the tendency is to allow the opponent to come, right? So, and that's, the game plan cannot start at 1-0 either or. The game starts at 0-0, right? So now it's up to the aggressor team to now put the one team on the back foot or on the front foot or vice versa. So, yeah, you just have to put each other. That's the game of chess. The game starts at 0-0. And we want to take it, really aggressively as per our principles. And we thought we had a good game plan, and we thought we created numerous chances, and we thought we dominated the game in most aspects, right? So I was proud of the group for the way they try to go at the game, right? I thought we had waves of attack in the second half, and then we bring on, some firepower with Joe Keeney, Ostrike, and so Njabulo Blom makes a good impact when he came on and looked lively. So, we got all guys coming in the game to push the game, and I thought the response, and we pushed, and we get a goal. So if we start the game that way, we get the first goal, then the game looks different.
Chicago twice this week, Kansas City next week. Is there some excitement to start building some of these regional rivalries?
Yeah, I said it before the game to our group. A rivalry is based on something that, yes, the cities might have a rivalry, or the proximity might have a rivalry, but something needs to happen, right? So something has happened now. Now it's a response from us is required. And how that builds over time within a rivalry remains to be seen. But, we for sure don't want to be on the losing side, right? We want to win these games, these proximity duels. That's just across the way here, a couple of hours away. Yeah, this is a short travel for us. This is a moment for us to get in, get out. It's a moment for us to be proud about what we do and put our principles on display. So we want to win every game. And that's the intent of our team, and that's the ambition of our team. We know we won't win every game, but we can compete in every game. So, this is about us taking care of our details. And I felt once or twice we had a few details wrong on the night, but not to say we didn't push the game. I thought some of our counter pressing was really good. I thought some of our forward defending was okay. We played brave at times. So, I thought it was not all a bad exercise. And we had a good lineup out there, so no excuses that we lost the game.
Coach, can you just speak to the challenges, especially after the first game, of playing the same team back to back?
Yeah, listen, I think we have a few different weapons coming up on Saturday. I think we have a different way we'll go about it. I think we have a different mindset going into it. Not to say that the mindset was bad going into this one, but I thought that we all held ourselves accountable, coaches, players, staff. We just thought, we just got a few things before the game wrong. So now we look at it and we go and move on. So, which gives us excitement about the future. So it's always tricky coming up against yourselves twice, but it's easier from a game planning perspective because we don't have to now watch tons and tons of video. We've just had them in front of us, against us, with our principles. So how now can we find the spots with the ball, and how can we restrict them when they have the ball? We know Shaqiri is a good playmaker. We know that when he can be a difference maker, given time and space, he can spray the passes around and find pockets of space, and it's up to limit that. And I thought Miggy Perez did a great job on the night, and I think he gets substituted after a couple of minutes in the second half. So I thought we did a lot of good things right, and we get to go again at that for consistency over 90 minutes, and I'll be really happy with that performance then.
And when you think about this time without João Klaus, given the fact that you were overseeing City 2 all of last year, do you ever reflect on the time that Josh Jolling was suspended for a couple of games? You guys were playing with that false nine system and struggling to execute in the box?
Yeah, I look at it in another way, right? I look at it at guys getting minutes. I look at it at a Celio Pompeu now getting regular minutes, right? And creating havoc and going about it. He plays with an edge. He plays with a smile. And we contribute with guys getting goals in other ways. So Miggy Perez now, I think, is the 11th goal scorer. I said it last week. We had the 10th goal scorer in Celio. Now it's the 11th goal scorer in Miggy Perez, right? And that's the beauty of a collective system, right? For sure, we're missing Klaus. For sure, Rasmus Alm gives us a little bit also of the goal threat and depth in the attack. But also, we're happy with, we created enough chances to win the game, 100%. I don't doubt that at all. We dominated the game in the final third. We dominated the game in their half, bar 5 minutes in the beginning. So, if we played the game like we did for 85 minutes, I'm convinced that the result will be different.
More or less piggybacking from that last question, what have you learned from the team's depth depth bench in the last few weeks with Klaus and Alm out due to injury?
Yeah, I've just stated that. I think it's the perfect answer was the one before, just to say that we've contributed, we've given guys minutes, guys have earned those minutes because they're training really well, right? So even in Isak Jensen, we've asked him to play a little bit out of position. Sometimes, in the system that we played on the other night, we played him as a second striker, right? And we try to get him on the wings. He just got plugged up with, little time and space for him to operate in. So, but we've asked him to do great things, and he expects a lot better from himself, but we need to help him get into better spots. So that's one of the things that we learned from the game as well. But we think over time, Isak Jensen will become a weapon for us, as well as Celio Pompeu. So, but the only way to find out is to give these guys minutes, and we're really happy that they can get minutes right now.
And one more from me. I know it's disappointing to lose on last game in the U.S. Open Cup and be eliminated, but for you as a coach, is it more like, great, I don't have to worry about U.S. Open Cup games and just focus about MLS? Or is it like, man, those games were good for training and applying a lot of things that we were working on practices?
Yeah, I think if you look at the lineup we put out there, we took this game very seriously, right? And every game as a coach, we want to be competitive. And for every game that's available for something to win, we track winning every day in training, right? We keep a list. Who won that exercise? Who won that exercise? Who lost that exercise? At the end of the month, we know who our winners and losers are, right? So every competitive game we play, we want to win.
We got time for two more. We'll go to Santi and finish with Tom.
Bradley, it was mentioned before that you guys treat the season in blocks of 6 games. Can you talk about this second block of 6 games? Well,
I didn't say that. I've never made that statement.
yeah, I know it was Lutz, but just wanted to...
He said 5 games.
5 games?
That's what he said.
Okay. But can you give your thoughts on that second block of 5 games?
We don't track 5-game blocks.
How many games do you track?
That's a good question. We track 6-game blocks.
6, 8. Two questions. One, first, you're talking about Jensen. Was that an experiment with using him up top, or was that just because the people you had, that's what?
I think based on need and necessity, right? And based on, giving Isak a chance, because when he gets in the final third, we've seen him, really destroy our players in training. Mm-hmm. And he's really good. He's really talented. And we need to give him these competitive minutes. And training is one thing, right? But for him to get used to a stadium, lights, when it means something against opponents, right, that are not your teammates. We need to give him these experiences for him to grow. He's still a very young individual and still trying to figure things out. So, I'm happy to have given him these minutes. It's really valuable for him.
And then in your first 5 games, you guys had 35 shots on target. In the 7 games against MLS teams since you've had 22. Look at Tuesday's game, and there are shots that are blocked or shots that go wide, so they don't count. But where are those shots not coming from?
Yeah, if you think about the goal Edu Leuven scores, just trying to think of the game. He's like 1 yard in the box. He gets a shot off, and he scores a goal. Against Portland, same situation. The ball flies 3 inches past the right side of the post, right? In the first 5 games, those were going in. In these games, they're not, right? So that success and failure is such a fine line, right? So, we don't overthink things, because we feel if you overthink things, you create issues and problems that aren't there in the first place. So for us, it's about staying true to who we are, and we always said we want to finish off with final plays. Obviously, Klaus does bring a different dimension. Rasmus does bring a different dimension. Celio is more the dribbler. So when you're playing with guys that are more the dribblers, you're expecting more dribbling and attacking final moments, and then a goal like we score with Thomas Ostrak finds the deep pocket of space and drives infield and plays the cutback for Celio now, against Portland. So late on. These are the type of goals we value, not just wild shots from anywhere. But if we shoot from a lot of different angles, we are forcing set pieces. We are forcing final plays. We are forcing moments like Miggy Perez to score. We score on a set piece. So the more brave and positive we play, the more value we get in the final third, right? So, and that's just a shift in terms of ownership and responsibilities, right? So we like guys playing with courage and bravery with the ball. How quick can we circulate the ball to get a shot off, or do we take a dribble? Do I get caught up in the dribble, thinking about shooting? Or is it my teammate who has a better spot to now get in the shot early with no pressure? So it's a lot of these things going on in the players' minds, and I trust the players to make the right decision in the right time. So, yeah, the game of success and failure, and that's the beauty of the game.
Coach, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Do you want to
Good.
kick us off?
Yeah, I guess I.
Someone else you spoke to him quite
Yeah, I know.
a bit on Tuesday.
Yeah. Njabulo,
Hi.
hi there. Nice to
How
see you again.
for you?
Thank you. Just what can you take going forward from Tuesday's game as you play Chicago again?
I think from the beginning of the game, we have to apply ourselves, follow our principles, play with a bit of an edge, with a positive mentality, and work as a team.
Go ahead, Matt.
Since you've been out, it's been a up and down run of form. What do you feel like you're looking forward to bringing to this team that can help kind of right the ship, so to speak?
Think positivity, playing as I said, playing with an edge, following the principles, and just helping the team to get maximum points.
And then, real quick, so you're well versed in both fullback, midfield. Do you have a preference on where you play, all things equal?
Please repeat that question again.
So you've played at fullback, right back position. You've played in the midfield. Do you have a personal preference on where you have the most fun or feel like you're the most successful?
Yeah, I think beginning of my career, I started as a right back, but then as time went by, I was introduced into the midfield, and then I started enjoying plays as a centre mid. So I would say I enjoy playing as a centre mid, but I'm available at any time whenever the team needs me.
Santi?
So you came back on Tuesday after being out for a few games. You played right back. How did you feel on Tuesday?
I think for me, going in, it was more of like helping the team, but also I have to say that like it was great being on the field with the guys, and I think it was a great feeling after being out for 3 weeks.
And Chicago, back-to-back games. Did you ever experience back-to-back games when you played back in South Africa?
Yeah, of course. It's. I think it happens everywhere in the world. Wherever you go, you would get time. You get time whereby you have to face the same opposition at 3 days apart. So yeah, I think it happens everywhere in the world.
And I'm just curious, what do you feel like has been the best and I guess worst ways you've adjusted to St. Louis? So it's obviously been a big adjustment coming over here and getting used to and acclimated to the area. How has that adjustment been for you?
To be quite honest, it's been difficult being far away from home. Obviously, sometimes you get frustrated, you miss your family, you miss your friends. But I think the team helped me very much to settle down. It's home away from home. So I think at first it was difficult, but I'm starting to adjust and to make a few friends.
And then what do you think of the competition in MLS so far compared to other places you've played?
I think it's more above where I played. It's the intensity is quick here. Play quick. Play with as I said, we play with an edge. It's intense, and everyone is trying to win games. So it's like you're playing a cup final each and every game you play.
Anyone else for Njabulo? All right, Jobs, thank you for joining us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lessons learned from Tuesday, and what can you apply from that game to Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, we had a game plan going in, and the first 5 minutes didn't go as we planned. Probably didn't come out with enough intensity and energy, and we conceded a goal. And it's never nice starting a game 1-0 down. I'm going to echo a lot of what Jebs and Coach said, but chasing a game is always much harder, especially against an opponent like that. They scored a goal, and then they sat back, and it becomes very difficult for us. So that's kind of probably the one main big lesson. I don't think that will happen on Saturday. So yeah, probably don't concede in the first 2-3 minutes of the game, because it kind of just takes the life out of everything.
But aside from that, I'm going to echo again, like I said, I think we did have good moments. We also had moments to learn from, but we're doing that, kind of behind closed doors. We had a couple video sessions, and we're going to learn from our mistakes. But yeah, I don't think that there's just small things that kind of aren't going our way right now, and we kind of have to, change that for ourselves. And I think once that happens, I think we're going to be absolutely fine. We believe in each other. We believe in our principles. So, the house isn't burning and crashing down. It's just kind of small tweaks that we need to fix, and everybody trusts each other that we're going to be able to do that.
What's the feeling about how the offense has gone in this time with Klaus out?
Yeah, we're having to find different solutions, different goal scorers, and yeah, I mean, listen, it's tough. If you take somebody's top goal scorer who's playing really well, full of confidence, it's obviously going to be more difficult to find the back of the net. But it's up to the rest of us to try and find different ways to score goals. And like I said, we believe in each other, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna follow.
In some of the other weeks where you've come off a loss, we've heard various accounts of the intensity in training. Do you feel like that's been there this week? And kind of what's training been like with this midweek match?
Yeah, it's difficult to get very high intense training sessions in, especially in a game where you play, I'll say 3 games in a week, because we did play Saturday. Maybe we played 50 on Saturday, but it's difficult to get very high intensity sessions when you have games, so close to each other. Having said that, I don't think it just takes, it's not just training where we bring the intensity, when we have these video sessions, we point things out, and it's not personal, but, we do, kind of lay into each other, because there are things that we need to fix. So I also think you can have intensity off the field as well, in terms of knowing what your jobs are and what we need to do as a team. So in terms of training, we haven't really had the opportunity to be so intense in training, just because it's all about resting and recovering this week, given we have such high volume days in terms of games so close to each other. But yeah, I think we're definitely doing the right things.
And you personally, with Njabulo coming back, and especially with some injuries up front, do you see your position kind of evolving more as from the deeper midfield into the attack?
Yeah, I'm just going to play wherever coach wants me to play.
So when you guys look at your evaluation of yourselves in the early part of the season, given what the expectations were to start, we're talking a lot about frustrations as of late.
Yeah.
But when you look at the table, you guys are in prime position right now. As players, do you guys look at that, or do you just look at the body of work the last 6 games or whatever and see where we're at and where we want to be?
It's nice to look at the table, but I don't think our success comes from looking at the table and going, oh, wow, look where we are. We're so good. We're at the table. I think our success starts from preseason, the levels we set for ourselves and the standards we set for ourselves. And it kind of starts from there. And I think as a team, if we hit those standards that we set ourselves in preseason, I think we have a good chance of, competing in every game. But when we don't hit those levels and those standards we set for each other, we go back and we look at the film and we can see that we struggled in some areas. But yeah, I don't think that's. I think where we are on the table is a byproduct of what we've done in preseason and what we've done so far this season. So yeah, kind of in terms of where we are on the table. I don't really think. It's nice to see it, but it's not really something we go in every day and go, oh, look, we're here, and
In the from Tuesday that you played a few minutes, and from your experience playing against Chicago last year, what challenges can this Chicago team bring?
I don't think there's any easy games in this league. I think every team brings their own set of challenges, and it's up to us to try and break that team down or do what we can to win. Obviously, here we have our style of play, we have our principles, and we're going to stick to our guns. And that if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we're definitely going to go down our way. And our goal is to come off that field, having a dogfight, coming off that field, knowing we did everything we could. If the result goes our way, then great. If it doesn't, at least we came off the field knowing we can do. We did everything we could to try and win. In terms of playing Chicago, Yeah, I mean, I think the whole team is kind of just viewing it as another game. You know, we're gonna stick to our principles and our guns, and hope it's gonna work for us.
It's kind of got lost in the shuffle because you've had the Chicago game and
Mhm.
because it didn't finish, but the Dallas game, which was kind of looked at as a bounce back after the loss before.
Yeah.
How did you feel about how the Dallas game was in its glorious 50 minutes?
Yeah, I think it was a really good response. I think we kind of got back to how we wanted to be in terms of how we looked in terms of our counter pressing and pressing, and so on and so forth. So it was I think it was good. I think it was good to see ourselves. You know, we kind of felt more of ourselves as a team in terms of the way we played, and yeah, I think for us, I think it's just finding that level of consistency to try and kind of play our way. I think that's what we need to focus on. But yeah, Dallas was a good bounce back game for us. I would say.
How was the rain delay that time?
Yeah, it was still good. I mean, listen, I think the whole team was ready to go. You know, we were sitting in that change room, really wanted to play the next game, play the remainder of the game. We felt really good. I don't know what happened. I mean, I know it was called off, but we were definitely ready, 100%.
Kyle said you enjoyed watching the replay of the first half.
Yeah, you know, it was good. You know, I maybe made some comments on a ball I played across the field, grass cutter.
Multiple viewings, apparently.
Maybe there was one or two, yeah. But yeah, listen, we were having a good time, but obviously I think we got at one point we were going to kick off in 15 minutes or go outside to warm in 15 minutes, and that's kind of when the switch turns and everybody starts getting focused. But yeah, we were definitely ready. We were definitely up for it, and yeah, I think it's a shame we couldn't finish that game.
And anything from Tuesday that for the birth of the St. Louis-Chicago rivalry feel like something you can build off out of, rivalry-wise, things to make you mad about the Fire or the Fire to be mad about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, to be honest. Me personally, I just see it as another game. You know, I mean, there's definitely a game coming up that's not just another game. That's more of a rivalry in my opinion. But I don't know, it's just another game, you know. I'm going out there, there's one ball, everybody competes, 11 people fight for one ball to try and score goals. So, I mean, yeah, Chicago can call it a rivalry. It's just another game that we need to follow our principles and try and win. Yeah.
But Kansas City is a rival.
Yeah, I think so. There's some other stuff that happen in the background with Kansas City and some stuff. So yeah, but Chicago, yeah, just another game.
Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.